I've been a Templar for coming up on a decade.
10 years!
10 years now, which is crazy. Time flies. Yep.
Flies.
I'm a colon hydrotherapist. I am also a registered dietitian, and so I do nutrition consultations. And then I do lymphatic sessions as well. Oh, harsh. That's hard. Well, I love colon Hodge therapy because it's like what got me here. And when I first came in for a colonic myself, I was like, wow, I could do this. This is great. And it ties in with nutrition, and I can talk about nutrition at the same time. But then, I love nutrition and I'm super passionate about it. I could talk about that forever. So I like that too. Lymphatic is great too because it's new and, just in the last couple of years. So it's really interesting and you can see some amazing results with it. So I also enjoy lymphatic. I like having 3 different things so that I don't get burnt out on anything. Favorite product?
Yeah.
Well, probiotics are one of my favorite products because I feel like everyone can use them and they changed my life. It was one of the first things that I got when I came here, and I didn't understand how it was affecting all these other parts of my body. It was over 10 years ago, and probiotics, I didn't even know anything about them. And I feel like a lot of people take ones that aren't very good and then they like those don't really work, or they keep taking them but they don't notice anything. And if you can get the right ones at the right dosage, you can have amazing results. So it's one of my favorites, and it's kind of a foundational thing that I feel like almost everyone could benefit from. So it's kind of a heavy hitter that's hard to go wrong.
Which one do you typically recommend?
I actually typically do recommend the Temple Biotic, and since there's 60 in the bottle, it's kind of a good deal. It's not because it's Temple Biotic that I recommend it. I've had really good results with it. But sometimes I'll recommend other ones depending on specifics with the client. I see clients that are interested in their diet, certainly, because I'm the nutritionist, so they'll sometimes go, oh, that's interesting. I want to see her. I see I would say that a lot of people here fall into 2 categories, either people with digestive complaints, which I love to help because they're very close to my heart. So people with digestive issues, things they're working through, and it doesn't have to just be constipation. It could be diarrhea, one of my specialties, or people who are doing detoxification work and trying to become either optimally healthy or become healthy. So lots of people with that. And then recently had a baby a few years ago, and so I love the fertility people too. I would say those are the main scenarios. Most often, I work with Dr. Michelle a lot because she does a number of different things that are really great and work on the subtle level that I'm not the super subtle person. And she does lots of homeopathic and craniosacral that's really wonderful. But I've also worked a lot with abdominal massage, so Jamie or Shelley, people who are needing visceral work or abdominal work, whether it be for fertility or for digestion. So I've collaborated with them a lot as well. That's so horrible, Chris. You gotta at least give me a food group from which to pull. All right, let's see. Favorite food or recipe?
What do you eat most? What's your go-to food?
My go-to food? Well, it depends on the season. One of my favorite foods to recommend to people is beets because they're really good for the liver and they're really delicious. And I have a bunch of pickled beets from my garden right now, and even my 2-year-old loves them. So it's a really good one, and it's fun to watch your transit time when you eat beets. So if you eat beets, then you can wait and see how long until they come out, and you can have an idea of how fast or slow things are moving through your system, and they're great for the liver. But that's just one vegetable.
one of my favorite foods is Punk Rock Labs nut milk cheese.
Whoa! Shameless plug. Love
Shameless
it.
plug, it's true. Full disclosure, I am one of the owners of the company, but it's a dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan, all-organic, fermented, raw nut milk cheese, and it actually tastes good, which is kind of crazy. And so that one's really nice. That's one of my favorite secret recipes.
Secret talent?
I'm a good singer. I like to fancy myself a pseudo musician. Well, I've got a couple. So my middle name is Fox. So when you're born with a name like that, that's sort of like you get one there, pow. And then I have had a couple come to me. One was the Turtle, which is slow and steady, wins the race. And then also a young bobcat. And those were both given to me or exposed to me via two separate experiences with some shamans, and then having confirmation with sightings afterwards. Thank you.